The girl stuck her hand down her throat, and in the next second, a large amount of 8 treasure porridge was vomited out. Then, she kept rummaging through the porridge, and to her surprise, she found a memory card inside. The man in front of her, acting with professional diligence, cleaned it off and inserted the memory card into his computer to read it. But soon, he was shocked by the data inside. The card was full of evidence of crimes committed by an international drug lord. It turned out that just moments ago, this 10-year-old girl had witnessed her parents being brutally murdered by the drug lord's henchmen. But 10 minutes before the incident, the girl's father, who was a trusted lieutenant of the drug lord, realized that he had been abandoned by the boss. So he handed a memory card to his daughter and told her, "This is your passport." Then, he wrote a small note and told his daughter, "If something happens to us, follow the instructions on this note and you'll survive." Finally, after giving his protective amulets to his daughter, the drug lord's henchmen arrived as expected. Without a word, they began the massacre. Seeing this, the girl's parents grabbed their weapons and rushed out, but of course, they were no match for the drug lord's henchmen and were quickly wiped out. Then, the henchmen stormed into the room and started searching for the memory card the father had given her. The leader of the henchmen, Brother Beard, gently asked the girl where the memory card her father had hidden was. From Brother Beard's words, the girl learned that it was the international drug lord, Mr. Lewis, who had ordered her father's death. So when Brother Beard asked the girl what she wanted, she immediately grabbed the knife under the table and stabbed him. After that, the girl quickly escaped through the bathroom window, then jumped down to the next landing. The henchmen who arrived showed no mercy and started shooting. After swallowing the memory card, the girl took advantage of the henchmen reloading and successfully jumped to the ground, but the group quickly chased after her again. In a panic, the girl dove straight into the nearby sewer. At this point, Brother Beard was truly speechless. Having finally escaped, the girl immediately followed her father's note and went to the American embassy. She handed over the memory card. As expected, after seeing the data on it, the staff, in order to protect the girl, immediately brought her back to the United States. The girl's name was Xiaomei, but as soon as she arrived in the US, Xiaomei took advantage of a bathroom break and once again escaped from the staff through a window. Then, using the address her father had left on the note, and after asking around several times, Xiaomei successfully arrived at the address and found her uncle, who was involved with a gang here. Her uncle was extremely emotional to see that Xiaomei was still alive, and Xiaomei felt the warmth of his embrace. Xiaomei, who had been forcing herself to stay expressionless and strong, could no longer hold back and finally broke down in tears. The next day, Xiaomei finally had a good night's sleep. When she came to the kitchen, her grandmother had already prepared breakfast for her. But instead, Xiaomei started asking her uncle if he could train her to become an assassin. This surprised her uncle, but he still agreed. So, her uncle immediately used money to arrange for Xiaomei to get a spot at school. But this made Xiaomei unhappy because she felt that going to school wouldn't teach her how to become an assassin. Hearing such childish words, her uncle didn't say anything. Instead, he took out a handgun and started shooting wildly. In an instant, the crowd descended into chaos. Then her uncle said, "Is this really the kind of assassin you want to be? If you act like this, you definitely won't live long. If you're going to be an assassin, be a smart one. Besides pulling the trigger, you also need to understand how this world works. You have to know what's going on in other people's minds, study psychology, and learn a whole range of other knowledge. And if you want to learn all that, the only way is to go to school." This finally convinced Xiaomei completely, and she picked up her school bag again. From that moment, Xiaomei's path of revenge officially began. Meanwhile, far away, the international drug lord Lu Yi could never have imagined that he would one day be killed by a girl. Soon, 15 years passed. The grown-up Xiaomei made her entrance by crashing into a police car. Then she staggered out of the car, appearing completely drunk. Seeing this, the police showed no mercy and took her back to the station. To help her sober up, the police decided to detain her for the night so she could sleep it off. But as soon as Xiaomei entered the cell, she instantly sobered up. That's right, she had planned all of this. She was there to kill someone. Immediately, Xiaomei began to change her appearance. After putting on a black bodysuit, she picked the lock, opened the cell door, and noticed the surveillance camera above her. Xiaomei slowly moved it into a blind spot, and the police officer on duty, who was reading a newspaper, didn't notice anything unusual at all. Just like that, Xiaomei smoothly made her way to the water supply area. After grabbing a cup of water and a spoon, she walked into the power supply room.